Kevin from WagonGear here again, and I'm working on assembling a couple of seat boxes to send out, and they're all kind of a little bit different, so I wanted to take the opportunity to show some of the differences visually rather than typing so many long emails. This first one here on the cart is actually a more basic seat box. You'll notice it has we're looking at the back edge now. This is the front edge. They're all kind of oriented in the same direction. You can always look for where the parking brake handle cutout is to kind of get your bearings on here. But if you notice, this is just flush across the back. We talked about this in the other console flip video a little bit. It gives you a little bit better passenger footroom, a little bit more versatility as far as storing things in the rear footwell in front of the rear seat. All of these three consoles, the customers wanted to have them set up for mounting a console that could also flip back. Now in this case, because it is a flush backed with no bump out, I've mounted the hinge in such a way so that the console that goes on here could actually fly off the back. There's no reason why that the consoles that mount on these need to be flush. They can overhang as well, and in most cases the placement is going to be better if they are overhanging, or they could be flush like that. The hinge is already bolted onto the lower part just so that I can make sure all the hardware is there. And you also notice that in here, minus the latch catch, I still need to bolt those onto these, is the assembly to actually make the consoles flip. So I'm going to go up to the first box in line, which, if you notice, these two actually have the bump out on the back. So you get a little bit more storage, but a little bit less cargo versatility in the back. And this bump out comes back as far as possible to still be able to close the, listen to me, fold the rear seats up so the seat upholstery will actually push into the back of the console in these places. If you're trying to visualize placement in your own vehicle, you can look at where the front seat belt mounts are. These bolts are just behind where the back of the seat box would be, so we come back with the bump out past there. But anyways, on this console, we saw this setup before. It's a little bit of an older model console, so I'm not 100% certain whether or not all the dimensions are the same, but I have made a, let me get a little flashlight here. Doesn't really work very well. A bracket that goes in there, if you'll notice, it's a reinforcing plate because there's too much deflection in the floor of the console to get a really kind of consistent latch. So there's a couple of bolts on each side that are 5/8 of an inch. Let me go ahead and pull the little cable and release that latch. They're about 5/8 of an inch up from the edge, and they go into that bracket. And then this L bracket down underneath here that has the catch attached to it sandwiches the console between the plate and itself, and makes it really nice and sturdy and consistent. And I've also put a little piece of foam across the front edge of the console so that it kind of, when it comes down, compresses into it. So there's the first stage and the second stage, and I don't have to push very hard. And playing with the console, I've found that it's better to actually hold the whole console up a little bit so you get a really nice positive catch, and then use that foam to prevent it from making any noises or wiggles or anything, because I don't like noises or wiggles. But once again, this one is mounted to a console with a bump out, which, you know, it's got pros and cons. Of course, one of the cons is going to have to cost a little more than just the basic flat-backed console, which you can seat box, which you can fly the console over or put flush to the back edge of it. So there's a couple of seat boxes almost ready to go at. I'll get back to work now.